Just some quick more keys, Justin, to this guy's game. Your starting lineups for TCA. It's going to be Van Bryant, Clark Larson, John Michael Holiday, Isaac Elliott, and Joseph York, your typical starters. And so what do you expect for the Lions as far as starting this game early on and getting out on a weaker Mustang team?
Well, I think they just have to finish doing, as far as offensively, what they did last night, continuing to feed the post every single possession. I think it works best when they give Bryant the ball first, and if his shot isn't there, they can kick it back out to Larson, because I think Larson's clearly the better jump shooter between the two post players. But getting it into Bryant first, and if he can't make a move and score, get it back out to Larson, because they've both been playing great as of late after Bryant was struggling for a stretch there of a couple weeks. But really continuing to move the ball around, get the ball into the post, at least one touch per possession for the post players.
Yeah, and I would have to ask another question, too. Who do you think is, assuming Trinity does wind down and actually come away with a pretty big lead, who do you expect coming off the bench to develop and really get some good minutes and some good production from Coach Northcutt's secondary players?
Well, considering how many players and how many players really play on a consistent basis, considering they go 8 to 10, sometimes 11 deep down their bench, other than those core 8 to 10, I think someone we haven't seen a lot of up until last night, he got some key minutes, but Riley Graves.
Absolutely.
Because he's going to be a big guard in the future, being a sophomore. He's going to get a lot of minutes, because I know that Coach Northcutt has reluctantly kind of made Will Seeley a guard this year, and next year they're probably going to try to move him back to that 2-3 spot. Yeah. So having Riley Graves as a ball handler to bring it up the court, that'll be something to look out for and see if he can continue improving as far as moving the ball around.
Well, and also we've seen York get in foul trouble, Holiday having to run those point guard opportunities. So Graves is that secondary guard that can come off the bench, and it's good to get him varsity minutes in games like this, because we saw him come in against a very talented Riverside team. And Coach Northcutt has said that all credit to his football ability, because we saw him at the wide receiver position during the football season, but he's a very good lateral mover, very quick on his feet, and makes him a good defender. So we'll see a lot of Graves tonight, and we'll see how he progresses throughout the rest of the season. Also expect Will Seeley to come in. I personally want to see some production out of Gavin Thorne. He's been in several games, in some key games in this season, coming in for Bryant or Larson when they need a breather or if one of them's in foul trouble. And so I want to see Thorne come off the bench and actually give Coach Northcutt some production tonight against the weaker Madison squad. So it's going to be Bryant and it's going to be Bond for Madison to jump it off, and we will kick it off this time. Madison winning the opening tip. So your starting lineups for Madison, it's going to be number 3, Lawrence Pack, number 20, Josh Holder, number 21, Jonathan Utley, number 22, Malcolm Arnold, and number 33, Jalen Bond. Madison is coached by Ray Yancey, longtime head coach at Tigert Middle School. Pack's floater in the lane goes off. TCA will set up in their first offensive possession. And a quick turnover from the Lions. They've struggled with that throughout the season. Ball comes away with Pack after Utley misses the lay-in. Stolen away by Larson.
I think they've really just, starting off this game, they've got to slow it down and really run their offense, because you know that just with another turnover we've seen as of late, like you talked about, in the passing lanes, continuing to telegraph their passes and give away easy turnovers that can easily be fixed by not telegraphing their passes, but really just running their offense, not focusing too much on the transition offense, focusing a lot more on the transition defense instead. Yeah,
Madison, a team that struggles really shooting the basketball, but a team that will get after you consistently defensively. And Justin, with that Van Bryant walk, that's 3 straight possessions Trinity's turned the ball over, and averaging 15.5 turnovers per game. They cannot, against a team like this, fall into that same style of offense.
Yeah, and see, that's why you never know what you're going to get with this Trinity team, because you have nights like last night where they hang with a very talented team in Martin Westview and hang with them the entire game. And then you have games like this where they start to play, like I said a little bit last night, a little lethargic, just kind of lazily moving about the floor and turning the ball over way too much.
Yeah. And you would expect a Trinity team that, yes, they know they've beaten this Madison team before pretty handily, and you'd think they would come out with a little more fire and a little more intensity. And we'll see if they can do so right after this timeout. We'll take one as well. Scoreless here in the opening quarter here on point5digital.com.
There's a reason Old Town Spaghetti Store has been voted Best Italian Restaurant multiple years in a row. Certified Angus beef steaks, seafood and pasta, succulent prime rib cut to order, specialty salads, homemade dressings, and fresh baked bread. An inviting atmosphere inside and outside on the patio and covered terrace. Call in your order or order online, and we'll bring it right out to your car. Locally owned since 1982. Old Town Spaghetti Store, your country Italian grill. Visit oldtownspaghettistore.com.
And just me and Justin swallow our last bites of this wonderful TCA concession food. Bring you back to the action here on point5digital.com. So out of that Golden Circle Exterminators timeout, number 3, Pack with the ball, going to set up the offense for Madison. TCA in that 2-3 extended zone. Trying to apply some pressure. Coach Northcutt really wanting to work on that defensive effort that honestly was lacking at some points last evening.
Yeah, and one thing that I know you're going to love to hear, seeing players with the dedication like this, but today during lunch, Isaac Elliott sitting at the lunch table with his laptop out, watching some game film from last night. One thing
there's a reason Old Town Spaghetti Store has been voted.
It seems lately that when they play that 2-3 zone, which is they really like to run that 2-3 zone, they've gotten a lot better at it, especially like on games like last night when players aren't even being able to find their man, playing man-to-man defense, getting back on defense. But it seems that when they run that 2-3 zone, that the entire team moves to one side when the ball does, as opposed to having 2 or 3 players on the opposite side staying with a man on the other side, because the zone is not meant to have all 5 players crowd the ball like that. So they've got to do a better job, like Elliott said, of keeping the zone balanced on both sides of the floor.
Another turnover as Holder takes it away for Madison. 2-0 is your early lead here in the opening 3 minutes of this first quarter. Holder's going to take another long 3. This time goes just a bit long. Elliott with a rebound. And Madison getting some open looks, just not knocking them down. This time Elliott going to set it up. He has Utley defending. Inside to Larson. Larson, one dribble, easy lay-in with left hand. And Clark Larson already with a couple of baskets, and he has got to get going if this Lions team wants to succeed. He is the motor horse down low in the post. Almost a traveling call from Pack. Going inside, this time it's Bond. Kicks it back out. Utley going to throw it back into Bond. Bond pumps, flips it up, and that is one thing that does give the advantage to TCA down low is you cannot get a lot of easy looks when you have both Van Bryant and Clark Larson inside defending. Larson with the contact and the finish. Clark Larson not wasting any time getting his dominance spread down low in the post.
And I was just about to say prior to that and one bucket, that Larson really, when their offense gets going, even though Bryant had that rough stretch that lasted about 2 to 3 weeks that he seems to be kind of coming out of, Larson, they found a way to really run their offense even when Larson's playing good. As long as Larson's playing well, their offense kind of flows around. And even if you have a player like Bryant or players like York or Elliott starting to struggle, that as long as Larson is getting going and moving the ball around, because he's a good passer for a post player, too. I mean, he really gets the ball moving. And as long as he's moving the ball around and scoring, then their offense is really in good shape.
Tipped out of bounds by York. Good defensive effort there. Coach Northcutt liking what he sees. Larson so far with all 7 points as he converts the and one at the Hughes Eye Center free throw line for the Lions. Packed inbound the basketball. Flips it over to Bond. Bond going to drive in, take a jumper from about 18 feet away, goes long off the back iron. He fights for his own rebound. Pack now, floater in the lane. Yes. Lawrence Pack with the first points for the Madison Mustangs. 7-2 here with 3:43 left to go in this first quarter. Elliott driving. Nice crossover move. Pull-up jumper, just left it a bit short. Rebound goes to Josh Holder.
And Elliott is one player we saw last night not really finding his rhythm in the game last night because partially due to the fact that the post players were scoring so much, but still you need players like Elliott, considering he's the most has been the best shooter on this team for the most part of the season. You need him going into a rhythm, going into this final stretch of 5 or 6 games left in the regular season.
Yeah, and it's arguably safe to say each and every game he needs to be hitting about 2 or 3 shots from outside, which really opens up his game for allow him to drive and get inside to the rim.
Yep. And he's been good at that, especially pump faking from 3. Like we just saw, that's been his game. He pumps fake on the 3 out on the wing at first and then drives in for a pull-up jump shot, kind of like the same way, the same style of play that Eli Parker played with last year and years prior.
Holder, another 3 from that wing, high arching off the rim, goes over the backboard for a turnover. That foul previously on that possession charged to Van Bryant. And hopefully he will stay out of foul trouble in this game. And you can see that 2-3 zone, the length that TCA has is unlike any other in this district, and that's one of their biggest advantages as to why that 2-3 zone actually does work for them. Pack working on Bryant. Over to Holder, back to Pack. Madison just having trouble, nowhere really to go. High post action blocked by Bryant. And now John Michael Holiday in transition. Driving, kicking to York. And he's got Larson inside. Catch, 1 dribble, and the foul. And that's that style of offense you want. Get the ball down, get that good angle on the wing, find your post man, and let him do the rest. And so far, Larson going back to the Hughes Eye Center free throw line, where on the year he is a 69% shooter.
One of the better free throw shooters on a team that has struggled with free throws continually throughout this season. I know that's one thing that Coach Northcutt will be preaching down the stretch, especially going into the district tournament. They've got to get better at shooting free throws, especially going into the district tournament, like we said, because we know that going down the stretch, it's going to be tough to win those games if you're not making free throws.
1 of 2 at the Hughes Eye Center charity stripe for Larson. He has all 8 points for TCA as 2 seniors, Taylor Allen, Jack Carpenter, check in to the game for John Michael Holiday and Isaac Elliott. Diving for the loose ball was Edwards, but unable to get there, and the possession is going to be awarded to TCA.
And those 2 seniors might be 2 players that we see step up in this game, as they're not really known for their scoring ability, but still might find a way to get back in their rhythm of shooting going into these last few games.
Officials are going to have a quick word as Madison's going to make a quick substitution. This time going to be number 11, Devin Howard. Bryant with the basketball working on Bond. Flips it inside to Larson. 1 dribble. Nice baby hook from the sophomore. And that's what we're talking about. When you get Bryant and Larson working together, tandem down in the post, it's one of the greatest things that Trinity has offensively, and it is very, very difficult to stop. As Larson, again, riding this 10-point run of his own, as he's already got double digits. That foul going to be called on number 32, Taylor Allen, going to be the team's 2nd foul.
It's very rare at the high school level to have a player with a jump hook of that level, especially when you consider Larson's age, him being just a sophomore, so he'll have 2 more years to really develop his post skills.
Ball tapped around, eventually in the hands of Jalen Bond. Kicks it back out to Pack. Holder, long 3. He's taking a few, unable to connect on this one too. It's going to be an offensive foul called on Bond as he was pushing off the back of Larson. So checking in for Josh Holder, number 32, Braylon Woods. York doing a good job getting in the lane with some contact, and York not known for his prolific scoring, only averaging just about 3.2 a game, but he's one of the best at actually getting to the rim. Very shifty in his ball handling. He does turn the ball over quite a bit as well. As on the year, he's got 36 total. But York is a guy that Coach Northcutt and Coach C.J. Fedowa, a former point guard at Central Michigan, really trying to get York to expand his offensive game and really try to drive in and create his own shots at the rim.
Yeah, and that'll be something else to look for in the next 3 quarters of this game is York being more aggressive. In the last about 2 or 3 times already in this game he's driven in the lane. A couple times he's kicked out. But when he's driving in and kicking, that dish and swish action that we talked about last week against Riverside, that's really when their offense is clicking, when you have players pulling everyone into the paint and then kicking out, because this team has some shooters, but the problem is they haven't been taking the best shots because they're not drawing players into the paint.
Woods followed his shot and a nice feed inside to number 23, Cinque Pegs, and he connects. Taylor Allen driving in. He'll be fouled. Woods charged with the foul. Taylor Allen will go to the Hughes-I center free throw line. 12-4 is your opening score. TCA getting it done on the defensive end, and that's what we said, that what had to happen was TCA had to show up defensively. And when you do, this is a Trinity team that can get after it defensively, and when they do, that's when they make runs in ball games. And these past couple of losses, again, they haven't won in the month of January, but it's been by very short margin.
Yeah.
Several of these games could have gone either way.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about, considering early on in the season we talked about how great this defense was because of the length they had with, I remember earlier in the year, one of their best games, all-around games they've played against a very good Sacred Heart team at Sacred Heart. Larson and Bryant combined for, I believe, 9 blocks, Bryant with 5, Larson with 4, and that was just – I thought that was going to be a turning point for them early on in the season. They were playing really good basketball at that point, but the defense has just fallen off since then. I think that has contributed to their losses.
Elliott driving in. He'll be fouled this time. So it's nice to see the Lions getting to the free throw line early, as that foul is going to be charged, number 11, Devin Howard. So Elliott converts at the charity stripe, where on the year he is a 64% shooter. 2 of 2 tonight, however, and a good start for TCA, 15-4 in the opening chapter of this contest. This time is Woods in the corner. That length is a killer for an offensive team. Outside to Woods. And his 3 rattles in. Just a couple of seconds left. 3 seconds on the clock. Van Bryant has a half-court heave off the back of the rim. And almost a thrilling shot from Van Bryant at the last seconds of the first quarter. After Woods' 3, he cut it to 8, so it's 15-7 here at TCA. Still got a lot of more basketball left to play here in District 15A contest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on point5digital.com.
Thank you, and goodbye.
That's just what happens every time you pay a rent check. Now let's step into a new 5-star Realty home. Hear that? It's the sound of peace of mind. Because when you choose 5-star Realty, you're getting the best home value for just about the same monthly cost as you're now paying in rent. Kenny Sutherland will help you get into a new home in Shepherd's Field, starting in the 140s. Call Kenny Sutherland at 5-Star Realty today. 444-1164. That's 444-1164.
Excuse me, sir, do you work in hardware?
I sure do.
I need a screwdriver.
Do I look like a bartender to you?
No, I mean a Phillips screwdriver.
Philip don't work here anymore.
When you're talking hardware stores, bigger isn't always better. You end up sacrificing service for size. Shop the place that knows hardware, home, and yard products. The helpful place. Ace Hardware of Jackson. Great service and the right products. Everything you need to work around the house.
Welcome to Ace Hardware of Jackson. How may I help you today?
Ace Hardware of Jackson, 3315 North Highland.
Possibly some future TCA Lions out there cheering on this squad tonight versus Madison. We welcome you back to second quarter action here at the Lions Den as Elliott, nice left-handed lay-in and a good finesse move from the senior. He's now, after his 2 free throws, has 4 in this game. 17-7 now, and your assessment, Justin, of this first quarter as to why Trinity got out to this early lead.
Well, I think they started off in the first couple of possessions kind of antsy, really just not moving the ball around well, not being patient. A big problem for them we keep talking about is trying to make passes way too quick. I mean, they're not letting the offense develop when they run offensive sets, and they're trying to make passes too quick, but they improved on that. They haven't been forcing anything. They've been waiting for the best shot. See, average teams are going to continue looking for good shots, but the best teams are going to look for the best shot on every single possession and not settling for anything.
Elliott skying for the rebound, goes over the back. Number 25, Latham. And he'll be charged for his foul. First foul in this contest. Excuse me, I was wrong yet again, is they actually charged Will Seeley with that call. As Seeley almost comes away with the steal. And he does. Great defensive effort from the junior, and you're going to get a maximum effort out of Will Seeley every time he steps on the floor.
See, I think that's part of the reason why Coach Northcutt has tried to transition him into a guard, because in middle school he was more of a forward just because of his strength down low. But he's become such a great player as far as hustle goes that he leaves it all on the floor, and that's what you want in a guard, a player that's willing to take the ball, take care of the ball, and make his free throws.
On his Holiday Skies for the lay-in. Also Seeley, another player that has honestly in the offseason hit the gym, slimmed up a little bit. Again, cut some of that weight off, and he has really turned into a very prime athlete for Coach Northcutt's program, because, like you said, in middle school he never really did step outside the lane, a big, strong, stout post player, but now you see his versatility where he can go inside and still bounce around with the big boys, but able to work. He's worked on his ball handling a lot, and that's what's been a big key to his success, is he's now able to handle the ball, set up and run this Trinity offense. As Elliott converts at the Uzai Center free throw line, is Trinity now early on in the second quarter already in the bonus.
And it's great for a team to have a player, which most teams don't have a player of this nature that has the versatility to handle the ball and play guard, but if need be, he can go down low and play the post because of his past in the post, and really just the skills that he's developed over the years playing center and forward.
20-7 is your score right now. And another turnover this time. Up ahead to Elliott. Just a bit too far, the pass from Seeley. As Elliott was wide open, Seeley unable to get him the basketball. Pack's going to check back in for number 32, Braylon Woods. So far, nothing happening right here from Madison. Very stagnant on the offensive end. This pressure from Trinity is giving them fits. Pack trying to set something up. On the floor right now for the Lions, Seeley, Will Taylor, Taylor Allen, Elliott, and Holiday. Pack driving into the lane, off the glass, unable to get it to go. Rebound goes to Latham, and he will cash that basket in as well as the foul. And against a team that's smaller than you, you cannot afford too many offensive rebounds and stickbacks.
And we talked about that last night and in the games prior. The second chance points only averaging about 10 or 11 a game when they're averaging closer to 15 offensive rebounds. Trinity struggles with putting points back up, but in the same way, you've got to box out on both sides. I said that the struggle has been putting buckets back up after getting the offensive rebounds, but the same way on defense. It seems like they think because of their height advantage, they're just going to grab every rebound. That's not always the case when you're playing a team that's going to hustle like that.
And a nice defensive effort there from Eric Latham as he denies Holiday, but Elliott wisely scoops up the basketball and scores. The lead is now back up to 12. Just about to hit 3 minutes into this second quarter. As that was Jones trying to get Latham look down low, unable to find him. So brand new 5 in for Coach Northcutt. It's Joseph York, Blaze Hargett getting some minutes in the JV game earlier, nursing that left hand, that wrist that he hurt just a couple of games ago. So he's now getting back in some action. Van Bryant, Larson, and Carpenter in for TCA. Offensive rebound goes to Arnold. Over to Latham. Driving in. Arnold, a long three, and it rattles in. Malcolm Arnold from outside cuts this lead down to 9. 5:11 left to go in this first half. Trinity looking to set up on the offensive end with York. We'll see with the height advantage that they have miscommunication right there, another turnover for TCA, but with Bryant and Larson in the game, that has got to be where you go every single time offensively and get them touches.
Yeah, and another thing that Bryant and Larson need to get better at is it seems like when they play teams that are a lot shorter than them, they, like I said a few minutes ago, they expect every rebound to just be going straight to them every single play, but they have to actually box out and make sure that they do not lose any rebounds to the offense.
Shot denied by Van Bryant inside the lane, and York now coming with it to set up the offense this side. He's going to be fouled by Pack. Little push-off foul. Playing aggressive defense was Lawrence Pack. And that's going to put Joseph York at the line for the bonus. It's going to be Pack's second foul. And he's their primary ball handler. If you get Lawrence Pack out of the game, then there's not much that really goes on for this Madison team as far as handling the ball, bringing it up.
Yeah, and in the first quarter and a half, if you will, of this game, it seems like their offense, even though he is their primary ball handler, they haven't really had a consistent force to go to. It's not like they've found any flow or real rhythm for their offense. It's just that Trinity keeps giving up the offensive rebounds, and they're putting it back up and definitely leading in second chance points.
York, only a 50% free throw shooter, converts the first one of two at the Hughes Eye Center free throw line, and going over the back was Van Bryant picking up his second foul. And that is several times. Bryant really flirting with foul trouble in second quarters of most of these games throughout Trinity's season.
As we keep talking about the big college games on the slate tonight, Louisville, just read this headline real quick from Bleacher Report. Louisville absolutely obliterates Pittsburgh in 106-51 win on the road.
Wow.
Donovan Mitchell with the season-high 29 points. They did use that word obliterates, and
that's very accurate. Very accurate.
You just don't see scores like that in college, especially from a pretty good team in Pitt. Pitt's been known to have some solid basketball teams. Steven Adams, the last few years, being one of their big-time players come out of that program.
And at home, too, at the Zoo, hosting Louisville. And those kind of scores you see between a 1 versus a 16 in the March Madness column, but never between usual ACC opponents. So something must have happened in Pittsburgh, but credit to Coach Pitino's squad. They're playing some good basketball as of lately. Almost converting on the alley-oop was Bryant. And now Pat coming the other way from Madison. Driving inside the lane. It's blocked away by Bryant. Van Bryant already with 2 fouls, but he's got 4 blocks already, making his presence known defensively. And now Coach Northcutt adding even more size as he brings in the 6'4" junior Gavin Thorne. So down low you have Larson, Bryant, and Thorne. Justin, in my opinion, how are you going to get a shot off?
I mean, we haven't really seen this lineup or really any opponent have to deal with playing against this lineup of Thorne, Larson, and Bryant all in the game at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see how the Mustangs respond.
And a little bit of confusion right here as before Madison was able to call the timeout, head official down there, Chuck Patton, called a 5-second violation. So instead of taking a quick break, we're going to continue on as Madison with a turnover. Van Bryant running point guard duties, bringing the ball up the floor. Wisely gets it to York. York to Bryant inside. Nice feed to Larson, and he scores. Van Bryant on the year averaging just about 2 assists per game, and you can see with his height and his length some great vision right there from the junior. 14-point lead for TCA, 27-13. We are just about 3 minutes away from the end of this first half.
And that's what I was talking about earlier in the game, making sure Bryant gets the first possession as Larson and Bryant both combined to get a block on that play, but Bryant getting the ball first, and if his shot's not there, finding a way to get it inside or kick it out to Clark Larson as he is the better jump shooter. But that time it was the opposite as Bryant got the ball outside and put it inside to Larson.
And you just got a notification from Bleacher Report from ESPN. They decided to use the word in the same game Louisville demolishes Pittsburgh.
Both
Again,
good words.
very accurate. So some good writing there. Credit that to the journalism world right there for ESPN and Bleacher Report. Back to the action right here, going inside to Bryant, and he is fouled by number 15, Israel Jones.
And going back to a couple other college basketball games that have been back and forth, Purdue currently leads Michigan State 80-73. Talking about a couple different key players, Swanigan with 23 points and 14 rebounds for Purdue, and Miles Bridges with 33 points and 7 rebounds for Michigan State. I remember going into the year, that's all anyone ever talked about was Miles Bridges maybe being the best player in the country. He's struggled but kind of found his way as of late. And another game that I think is the game of the night is West Virginia and Kansas. Kansas down by 9 at West Virginia against the Mountaineers. Make that 7 now as Kansas scores a quick bucket by Landon Lucas with 4 minutes left, down by 7.
Oh, still plenty of time left, and expect a run from the Jayhawks.
Yep.
Coach Bill Self is not going to go down without a fight. That is for sure. Madison looking to stay in this fight as well. This time it's Arnold trapped in the corner, and that's going to be a 5-second violation. And it just seems I can't get anything right tonight. Madison's actually going to take a quick timeout with Coach Yancey. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Grow your community. At Community Bank, that's something we do every day. When you invest in our bank, your money goes to work right here to make Jackson a better place for small business owners, families, consumers, and everyone who calls Jackson home. We like to reflect on what community banking means to us, and we invite you to learn more about what community banking can mean for you. Stop by and see the difference that comes when you bank locally. Community Bank, banking solutions for life. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at community-bank.net.
And seems like ESPN and Bleacher Report are continuing this trend of talking bad about Pittsburgh, which I don't know how you can find any good in that huge loss. But Pitt's 55-point loss versus Louisville tonight was its worst in 111 years when they lost by 93 to Westminster College in 1906.
1906, wow. That's even before, that's longer than the Cubs World Series drought at 108 years.
Wow. Man.
Although, see, you know, if Coach Jamie Dixon was still there, he would not be having that kind of production. Here's Elliott going up for the slam. Yes!
Throw the hammer down.
Isaac Elliott becoming a member of Phi Slamma Jamma here at TCA, as he throws it down with complete authority. And your lead now 13-30 in favor of TCA. Joseph York wants to get out in transition again. Driving inside the lane, dishing it off to Will A. Taylor. Nice baseline jumper, rattles, just no good. Rebound comes down to Madison, but it's stolen away by TCA.
And as Thorne loses that rebound, that's one big problem he's had when he has played, is that he does not have the best hands for a big man. He hasn't been good at grabbing rebounds with both hands.
Going to have a foul called, and I believe that's going to go against Thorne. And he's a player that does have a lot of potential, just really missing that aggressive edge that Coach Northcutt really wants from his players. But coming out of that timeout by Golden Circle Exterminators, good defensive possession, and we knew that if Elliott was going to get on a breakaway at some point with his size over almost everybody on this Madison roster, that he had potential to throw one down. And I'll tell you one thing, that rim is still shaking just a little bit after that dunk.
Going back to Thorne, talking about how he's got to improve in these minutes that he's getting in this game. It's hard when you have a player of that nature who, if you talk to him, he's kind of a timid guy. He's not really outspoken, but in every basketball player, there is that passion for the game inside, that aggression, and you've got to find that and bring it out of him and channel it a little bit, because right now he doesn't really play that aggressive like you were saying.
Yeah, because his skill set is there. He's got the basketball fundamental mentality. It's just him actually being aggressive and wanting to go out there and grab rebounds, defend shots, because he's got the athleticism and the size to do so. I've been keeping track of good friends with his family is his dad actually a physical therapist down at the lift, and so his dad has been working with him, getting him in the gym. And so you know the work's there. It's just finding that edge, that competitive edge that's within his self that'll finally bring that out of him. And so we'll see as he develops as a player in these next couple of years. Coach Northcutt wants a quick timeout. 27.4 left to go in this half. We'll take a quick timeout as well. We'll be right back with the last couple of seconds of this first half here on point5digital.com.
Remember to sign up for ABC Heat and Plumbing's Red Carpet Club, where we'll come to your house several times a year until we can find something to charge you for. Oops, did I say that out loud?
This is Charlie Garrett with Garrett Plumbing and Heating. We know you don't want us tracking through your house unless you have a reason to call us. At Garrett, we do both commercial and residential work with certified technicians for heating, cooling, and plumbing. We've been locally owned in Jackson since 1955. No gimmicks, just good dependable work, including sales and installation of carrier units with easy financing. Call us at 668-3339. That's 668-3339.
And we bring you back to action on the floor here at TCA. The Lions taking it convincingly to Madison, 30-13. So after this Golden Circle Exterminators timeout, Coach Northcutt looking to dial up a play to extend his lead going into the locker room. So going to run a play looking to get York in the corner. He does. York thought about a three. Going to step back. Now driving inside. Gets it to Elliott. Back to York, and they're looking to post up Larson, but not against this 2-3 zone. Elliott going to bring it back and set it up. He's got 10 on the clock. Over to York. Back to Elliott. Just a couple more seconds. Finds York in the corner. He's got to put up a shot. Long three. Well short. Nice pass to Thorne at the buzzer. Yes, sir.
What a pass.
Whether it was a shot, whether it was a pass, that is up to your interpretation. But Gavin Thorne with a nice bucket going into halftime. 32-13 is your lead. We'll take a couple of minutes of break. Who knows? Me and Justin may go back down to the concession stand for some more excellent food. We just can't stop eating tonight, and neither can the Lions, as they are absolutely dominating Madison tonight here in district play in a game which they desperately need a win. So we'll see if Coach Northcutt and his crew can continue this play as they move on throughout this game. We'll take a couple of minutes of halftime break. We'll come back. We'll analyze more of this guys contest, and then we'll wrap things up and preview some of the other games later on in this week. So take a quick break here. Brought to you by Community Bank. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here in just a few moments on point5digital.com.
Veteran Motors just makes sense.
What kind of cars can you expect to find at Veteran Motors? Well, pretty much any of the major brands: Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, and Kia. We may have missed a few in there, but, well, you get the idea. You'll also find that most of our vehicles range in miles from 5,000 to 100,000 miles. Certified, inspected, and serviced, just like you'll find on the Mega Superplexes lot. You'll find we're very reasonably priced and sold by folks that live here and their families as well for more than 70 years. So if you can find the same cars that you can on the Mega Superplexes lot, spend less money, and deal with honest, straightforward local people, it just makes sense to check out Veteran Motors, just north of Jackson and Threeway on Highway 45.
Veteran Motors just makes sense.
Great pre-owned certified vehicles makes good sense.
Your family, your business, our priority. At Golden Circle Exterminators, we know the importance of great customer service. The Dyers opened a pest control service in 1974 that exemplified their Christian family values. Golden Circle Exterminators. Now 40 years later, Golden Circle continues to be a family business dedicated to delivering high-quality pest control to your home or workplace. Golden Circle Exterminators services Jackson and West Tennessee, offering solutions in pest control, termite control, and moisture control. Your family, your business, our priority. Call us today, 731-668-4887.
Do you have cataracts, glaucoma, or any form of eye disease? At Hughes Eye Center, our physicians include residency-trained optometrists, surgical ophthalmologists, retinal surgeons, and oculoplastic surgeons, all right here in Jackson, Tennessee at Hughes Eye Center. There's no need to drive to Memphis or Nashville for your surgical eye care needs. Call 664-1994 to schedule your consultation. At Hughes Eye Center on Stonebridge in Jackson, that's 664-1994.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business in the heart of Jackson with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday. King Jewelers, 16 Conrad Drive in Jackson.
Traffic updates throughout the day on News Talk 101.5 FM are brought to you by Mitchell's Body Shop, a name you can trust. Lifetime warranty on all their work, free pickup and delivery in Madison County, and professionally clean your car at no charge. Mitchell's Body Shop, 96 Riverport Drive.
Sakura Japanese Restaurant has been Jackson's original sushi bar for years, but it's not your parents' sushi bar. Today, Sakura has a sushi roll for everyone's taste with over 75 selections of fresh, cooked, or fried rolls. Too busy to visit? No problem. Sakura will deliver to your home, office, or to your tailgate parties, and everybody will be smiling. You can impress your friends, family, and business clients with a Sakura Japanese catered event. Sakura, Jackson's original sushi bar, but not your parents' sushi bar. Carriage House Drive next to Gold's Gym, 664-2878.
Victory Honda of Jackson is taking care of us with two unmatched service programs. First is the Insurance Deductible Assist Program, where Victory Honda helps pay for all or part of your deductible when you have an accident. Next up is Victory Honda's unrivaled Double Tire Rebate Program. Victory Honda will match any rebate tire offer. If Michelin is offering a $70 rebate, Victory Honda will give you an additional $70 rebate, saving you $140. And if the tire you want offers no rebate, Victory Honda will give you a $50 rebate. Victory Honda of Jackson, where people come first.
Williams Equipment and Supply, your Bobcat loader and excavator dealer, stocks the widest range of Bobcat attachments such as augers, hydraulic breakers, angle brooms, sweepers, brushcat rotary cutters, hydraulic clamps, forestry cutters, pallet forks, grapples, land planes, planers, plate compactors, sod layers, soil conditioners, tillers, trenchers, and more.
This is Wallace West, the Bobcat Man. Whether you're in the construction industry or ag, call me at 731-668-4352 and let me help you get the equipment that you need to get the job done.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
When is the last time you've been to Outback Steakhouse? Well, it's time to go back this week. Dining at Outback is like going to an Australian dinner party with great steaks, the amazing bloomin' onion, and the ever-popular Alice Springs chicken. You can't go wrong with an Outback steak, either prepared on a wood-fired grill with salt, pepper, and garlic, or if you want a little more kick, get the classic seasoned and seared steak with 17 bold spices. Of course, everyone loves the Outback Bloomin' Onion and Outback's Aussie cheese fries. And now you can get both with the loaded Bloomin' Onion. That's a colossal Bloomin' Onion topped with Aussie cheese fries, a marriage made in heaven. So make plans this week to come to Outback Steakhouse, the best place in West Tennessee to eat, drink, relax, and be with friends. In fact, even if you come in by yourself, you'll be with friends because many of Outback's employees have been there for 15 years or more. Local people who already know you. Outback Steakhouse, 194 Stonebrook Place, Jackson. No rules, just right.
.32-13 is your score here at the Lions Den. And we welcome you back to our broadcast here on point5digital.com. Want to take a quick break at this moment and run through a list of our sponsors and thank them for helping us out here on point5digital.com, making this broadcast possible. So your lead sponsors tonight, Allen Vines Automotive and Ace Hardware, as well as Hughes Eye Center, Victory Honda Service of Jackson, Sakura Japanese Restaurant, Community Bank, Golden Circle Exterminators, King Jewelers, 5-Star Realty, Southeastern Termite Pest Control, Garrett Plumbing and Heating, and First South Bank. And so that wraps up a quick list of our sponsors. And again, without them, we would not be able to do what we do and call great TCA basketball games, which you're seeing here tonight here on point5digital.com. Well, the biggest thing we were just talking about, Justin, is the defensive effort. Last night we saw TCA allow 21 points just in the first quarter alone. In this first half against Madison, only 13. What seems to be the edge defensively for TCA?
Granted, they are playing a little lesser of a team, considerably lesser in this Madison Mustangs team compared to Martin Westview, but still they're playing much better as far as the zone goes. Last night they were kind of switching back and forth between the man-to-man and the 2-3 zone. Tonight they're playing a better zone. As far as having the weak side defenders slack off and remain on that side, because we know that teams in high school tend to make plenty of skip passes across the court, if you will, throughout the game. And when you have your players coming in on the zone over from the weak side to the strong side, that it limits your ability to guard the three on that side of the court. So they're doing a much better job of that, and they're continuing to just play really good, just their style of offense, getting the ball to the post players, kicking out if need be, and just finding ways to score and moving the ball around.
Now let's take a look at some of these college scores. We just looked at the closing seconds of Kansas and West Virginia. Give the viewers an update on that game.
Well, West Virginia has now snapped Kansas's 18-game win streak, conference win streak, and with Essa Ahmad from West Virginia scoring 27 points, and Josh Jackson, another big player from Kansas we talked about, scoring 22. But as well as the college games, the NBA games, Boston now down by 10 with 4 minutes left at Washington. That's a good game, I think, to kind of preview what could be the 2 seed in the East, maybe playing against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I know they're taking the loss. They looks like they're going to be taking the loss tonight. But the Celtics, I think, are a scary team going forward to as far as the best all-around team to play up against the Cavs. The Raptors, don't get me wrong, are a great team in the Eastern Conference, but they're so offensively heavy. Their defense has really suffered. They're one of the worst defensive teams, yet they're the, I believe, number 2 now offensive team behind Golden State. But if they don't step their defense up, they're going to continue being the 3 seed, and the Celtics are going to be the real scare for the Cavs in the Eastern Conference. Yeah,
and Washington, depending on how they finish out that seed, finish out in the Eastern Conference, that could be a potential matchup between Washington and Boston. And Isaiah Thomas, one of the best guards in the NBA, and he's been that, I guess, motor horse for that team.
Currently second in scoring behind James Harden, averaging 29 points a game.
He has just been very impressive in my opinion. Well, without further ado, we'll take you back to the high school basketball realm where TCA and Madison are facing off, just opening up this third quarter. John Michael Holiday, quick bucket, unable to get it to go. And the rebound will go to Trey Edwards for Madison. So now TCA back into that 1-2-2 trapping zone that they have, in the length, as you can see right here, causing turnovers. Joseph York driving into the lane with contact, and he will go to the Hughes Eye Center free throw line. That foul is going to be called on Lawrence Pack for Madison. Going to be his 3rd foul, team first in this second half. And the length that TCA has is definitely plays to their advantage. We'll see them use that against a smaller Adamsville team that will come in here on Friday. But with games like this is where you build that confidence, and then you have to use that propelling forward, because we've seen several times Trinity win a couple of games in a row, but then they'll have just a letdown loss. At this point in the season, all games are a must-win. They cannot have that letdown loss, especially with teams like Chester County and Scotts Hill coming into town, where they can easily both games which they have lost the first time, but they've got to come out and win those games.
Yeah, and especially going down the stretch when you're looking at a team that if they win out, they'll still be under 500, winning just a third of their games to this point in the season. And they're going to, but one of the keys really moving forward, they're going to have to continue, as we saw 2 offensive possessions ago, as Clark Larson got the offensive rebound, converting on second chance points. They get the ball, and the majority of the time they'll grab the rebound and bring it all the way down before they go back up. And you know, as a former player in Coach Northcutt's system, that he preaches not to bring the ball down when you get the rebound, to put it straight back up. That's the most efficient way to score, because when you bring it down, those pesky guards will be there to try to steal the ball from you, and that's exactly what happened on that possession.
Stolen away by Bond, this time for Madison. Holder going in transition for the Mustangs. 34-13. Madison still scoreless in the opening third quarter. Swinging it around. Long three from Woods, high off the mark. And the rebound goes to John Michael Holiday. Holiday's going to get it out in transition. And he's going to be called with the offensive foul, pushing off with that left arm. And he'll be charged with his first foul, team first, as just simply trying to create some space against Josh Holder and extending that arm just a little bit too much. Called for the offensive foul. And this time, Holiday steals it. And he's great in transition. Almost able to get it to go. Elliott with the step back and the foul. So good job of Elliott running the floor, realizing that he had some space to create for that offensive board, able to calmly collect it, put it in with some contact, and now he's into the double-digit scoring column tonight. Elliott converts the and one at the offensive end for the Hughes Eye Center free throw, and he now matches his average at 12. Pack looking to drive for Madison into the lane. Nice floater. Rebound goes to Clark Larson. And Pack had to get that shot high up in order to get it away from the big trees. York, shifty move in the lane. Offensive rebound and stick back. And so lather, rinse, repeat for the Trinity Lions as Bryant scores on the stick back. He now has 3.
See, and that's what we were just talking about. He got the rebound and didn't even wait until his feet were back on the ground. He immediately puts it back up.
Bond with a nice jumper from the right elbow. That's going to be Jalen Bond's first point in this contest. 39-15. Madison applying some pressure. York doing a good job of handling it. Running the pick and roll game, York. Nice shifty move with the right hand off the glass, and Joseph York finishes with some style in the lane.
Great job as a guard, especially going down low. It's harder for guards to score with the post players nowadays remaining at that low block, but using his left arm, keeping his left arm up where it's harder for the defender to get up for a block.
Coming in for Pack is Howard. Eric Latham also checking into the game for Braylon Woods. So Trinity really looking to put Madison away in the first minutes of this third quarter. And if they can do that, that's exactly what Coach Northcutt wants. That's not what he wanted, as Bryant now picking up his third foul. Latham going to go to the line. But we've seen Trinity actually do a good job in the first couple of minutes coming out of the halftime in the first 3 to 4 minutes in ball games, and that's been a pivotal point that's actually kept them in some games.
Yep.
And this point in particular, you want them to come out very aggressive, put the ball in the hole, get some stops on defense, and then give your main guys some rest, because you've got some crucial games coming up Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, especially Friday, I know means a lot for this team, it being homecoming and all, with only 3 games left for these seniors, the senior class left in their career. But like you said, they come out, start the second half, especially the last few games. As long as you're the aggressor of the two teams coming out, you're going to keep yourself in ball games, especially starting the second quarter.
Bryant,
Third quarter, pardon.
Bryant bodies his way and scores down low. 43-16 is your score. Bryant, 5 total points. Into the game for TCA, Taylor Allen and Will Seeley. This time Latham with a baseline jumper and scores. He's got 6 points. Elliott running the show on the point guard. Step back 3. Long, rebound goes to Larson. Larson, one dribble, puts it back up, and he's fouled. And I agree. Larson, again, a very, very solid, very fundamentally sound post player. But if he could just get past taking that extra dribble, he would score a lot more points down low.
And like we said earlier, back in that second quarter, we talked about how the offense kind of feeds off of him, even if some of the other players are struggling. If he's playing well, this team is playing well as a whole.
Larson tickles the twine at the charity stripe from Hughes Eye Center. Arnold's going to check back in for Bond. And so Larson now surpassing his average again. He's got 15. Second free throw, no good. So far, he's 3 for 6 tonight at the charity line. 44-18. We're at the midway point in this third quarter. Latham, another jumper. Goes long. Rebound still bouncing around. Goes back to Latham. And he flips it out to Holder. Back up to Arnold. Arnold, another three. Yes, he's 2 for 2 from outside. Malcolm Arnold with the long three. Cuts the lead within 23. Elliott down low to Seeley. Nice feed from the senior. Seeley just unable to catch it.
Like you said, great pass from the senior Elliott, but we've seen kind of as a trend throughout the season with especially I noticed in that USJ game last week at the University School of Jackson, struggling with hands. I mean, just not catching the ball. Bryant was struggling catching rebounds. Larson has struggled a little bit. But as a post player, and I know Seeley is a converted post player to guard, but still, you have to have good hands catching it, especially down low right beneath the basket.
Nice, strong take from the senior Taylor Allen getting in the scoring column with 3. TCA looking to run away with this one in the third quarter. Holder, long 3. Yes! Josh Holder still providing a little bit of life for the Madison Mustangs. This time there's going to be a whistle called. I believe they're going to get Arnold on the foul right there. You can see in the stands some young future Madison Mustangs here in support of their high school guys. And so we got some substitutions here for TCA as Elliott and Larson take a breather. Carpenter and Taylor come into the game. Ball now with Bryant. Coach Northcutt in his 15th season here at TCA. He's won 3 district championships. Been to a sub-state 3 times as well. Good defense from Allen there at the top. Inside to Latham, almost turns it over. It's blocked. This time's it with Peggs. Peggs blocked again. Van Bryant using his length down low. This time Seeley trying to get the ball up the court.
It's hard to tell what they will credit as a block, considering you have more than one post player down low going for the ball on each possession, each play. But I believe Bryant now has 7 blocks in this game, which is really what we not expected. Not that we expected 7 blocks a game or anything, but that type of production defensively from Bryant and Larson down low is what we expected going into the season.
Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by TCA. Bryant averaging just under 2 blocks a game, and you can clearly see his average going to go sky high after tonight's outing in the post. He'll take a seat as John Michael Holiday will come back in. TCA still in that 2-3 zone. Holder with the basketball over to Arnold. Latham at the free throw line, and he banks it in. Eric Latham now with 8 points. 48-26 is your score. Madison just not going away. Going to be a foul called on Holder. That will be his 2nd personal, team 5th. And so 2 more, and Trinity will be in the bonus. Will Seeley stepping back, take the shot, no good. We've got a foul called on Jack Carpenter, throwing the elbow, trying to set the screen. That'll be his first foul, team third. Again, Trinity still leading in convincing fashion, but they cannot let their foot off the gas at any point.
Yeah, like we said last night, they've got to use these next couple of games to fix some things up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And their defense is kind of taking a step back in this second half. In fact, in this third quarter, the Madison Mustangs have just as many points as they did in the entire first half with 13.
Taylor Allen kicks it back out to Seeley. Seeley thought about it, gets it to Carpenter. Wisely pulls it back out with 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Going to set up the offense, this time Will A. Taylor. Down low to Holiday with some contact. Yes! John Michael Holiday doing what he does best. Going up, bodying up defenders. And a nice little touch from the senior. And he'll go to the free throw line. Holiday, in my opinion, been the most improved player throughout this season. Misses his free throw where he is shooting 42% at the line. However, TCA extends their lead to 50-26 as we are just about half a minute away from the end of this third quarter. So a good defensive possession right here might just seal it for the Lions. They don't want to give Madison a sliver of hope. Nice up and under move by Holder, unable to convert. Seeley comes away with a rebound. 11 seconds left on the clock. Holiday. And Coach Northcutt wants to talk things over. And he wants a full timeout. So 8.4 left to go on the clock. 50-26. We'll take a break and have a quick word from our sponsors right after this.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. I recently went on a trip and found a quote hanging in the employee area. It read, "Own the customer's problem until it's resolved." It was hanging on the wall in an area that each employee would see before they entered their place of work. Over the years, I hope that we at Southeastern have always done that, but it was a good thing to read to stay on the top of my mind. Every pest control company has access to the same products to protect your home from pest and termite. What makes us different is the way that we go to market. At Southeastern, we don't believe that you should have to spend thousands on quality termite protection for your home, so we keep our overhead low. We don't believe that a fungus treatment and moisture protection in your crawl space should require a bank loan. We believe in doing things the right way at a fair price and building our business customer by customer instead of dollar by dollar. Please give us an opportunity to earn your business for all of your termite and pest control needs, brown recluse treatments, yard fogging for mosquito elimination, moisture barriers and wood fungus treatments, attic insulation, additions, home repairs, or just about anything else. Call me 24 hours a day at 660-1052. That's Southeastern, 660-1052.
Coach Northcutt giving his orders to his players as they wind down third quarter play. We welcome you back to the Lions Den here on point5digital.com. We'll see what Coach Northcutt has dialed up. Will Seeley to inbound the ball. Taylor Allen. Seeley from the corner. Left it just a bit short. Rebound goes to Will A. Taylor at the buzzer. Yes! And that is how we will wind down this third quarter. Some hard work from Will A. Taylor grabbing the offensive board and sticking it in just like he always does. Nice touch from the senior, 52-26 after that last shot from Taylor. We'll take a quick break and bring you back with fourth quarter action here on point5digital.com.
It's back to school, but there's still time to take a vacation from payments at Allen Vines Hyundai in Jackson. Buy a new Hyundai today and make not one single payment for 6 months on some models. And that means February next year. It's our Paycation Sales Event with huge savings on every new Hyundai. Like a beautiful new 2016 Hyundai Accent, just $14,995. All new 2017 Hyundai Elantra, just $16,995. Plus America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Backed by Hyundai Assurance. But time's running out on this incredible offer. Buy with 0 down, 0.9% APR for 60 months and no payments till February next year. Check it out at AllenVinesHyundai.com. Act fast while there's still time to take a vacation from payments at Allen Vines Hyundai in Jackson.
Number HO186B038 includes $449 process fee. Price includes rebates in lieu of rate payment assist. 0.9% APR 60 months with $20.84 per thousand finance. Deferred payment assist up to $1,500 through HMF on select models. Requires tax, title, license, approved credit.
It's time for the fourth quarter here at TCA. Madison throws up the shot. Larson with the rebound. Alex Northcutt, Justin Dyer, and the crew from Worthy Road Studios here tonight. Bringing you tonight's broadcast on point5digital.com. 52-26 is your score here at TCA. Elliott, step back three. You betcha. Isaac Elliott connecting from downtown. And TCA really just running away with this one, Justin.
Yeah, and I think in this final quarter, again, they just need to continue working on the defense. I mean, the zone has played a lot better tonight, but maybe switch it up and not play just the 2-3, switch to man, like they played earlier, that 2-1-2 press up top. Just see what else is working in case they need to switch it up in late game situations moving forward with Adamsville, Chester County, and Scotts Hill next on the schedule.
Your 5 in for TCA: Blaze Hargett, Isaac Elliott, Clark Larson, Van Bryant, Joseph York. Pack working on Hargett. Hargett comes away with the steal. Now York in transition, looking to drive, finds Larson to Bryant. Nice feed by the post guys, and yes! Van Bryant with the contact. And a great job from York finding Larson. Larson finding Bryant. Just great team basketball right there.
Yeah, and it's been working. Like we keep bringing it up, that post play, feeding it inside, and the way I think it works more effectively is Bryant getting the ball first. And when Bryant gets the ball down low, he's going to find a way to score. And I think he's matured more and more throughout the season to where he knows whether or not he has the best shot available.
Shooting 71% at the free throw line. He connects on the and one. Free throw sponsored by Hughes Eye Center. And driving into the lane is number 21, Utley. He'll be fouled by Larson coming from the backside. Utley so far scoreless in tonight's contest as TCA now extends their lead to 32. And it has been a good sight to see Trinity getting out ahead and keeping this lead. Elliott with a nice rebound gets it out to Hargett. Coming off the pick and roll is York. We'll see if he looks to drive. He does. Flips it up off the backboard. Van Bryant again, and Justin, I try to be very neutral, but I'm going to have to disagree with that call. As it looked as Van Bryant just grabbed it out of his hands. There was no over-the-back call.
Yeah, I think that was a good rebound. He started behind the player, but as he jumped, the player was moving around, and he got in front of the player. So I don't know. Questionable call there.
And so with that, Van Bryant almost fouls out of the game. Hargett flying in. Great hustle right there. And almost coming away with the steal. However, what was on the line, says the official. Well, that's what you got to love about this kid, is he's going to give you 110%, similar to a Will Seeley. Just knows his role on this team and comes in and plays it to perfection.
And again, another great thing about going to school with some of these guys and talking to them about the game, they said that they think one of the most improved players this season has been Blaze Hargett. He's really gotten a lot better shooting the ball, handling the ball, because he already had that style of play in him where he goes after every single loose ball. But he's continuing to improve as he misses the corner three there on his jump shot and his passing and his defense especially.
And they're going to call that one on Larson. And it honestly does seem that Mr. Patton down there is favoring Madison a little bit. However, I mean, you're not going to get calls when you're up 32, Justin, but at the same time, the officiating still has to remain professional and neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So Larson will check out of the game. Thorne in for him. Another foul called this time on Hargett. And that's going to put Madison in the bonus with Trinity's 7th team foul. So going to the line is going to be Josh Holder. So far, he has 3 total points with a bucket from outside. Holder's first 1-and-1 free throw rattles out. Riley Graves, who just checked in with the rebound. Quick notification. Despite Kyle Lowry's 30 points, the Spurs come away with the win, 108-106. as LaMarcus Aldridge leads the way for the Spurs with 21. And so a big win right there for San Antonio against, like we were talking about, a talented Toronto squad.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, if you have, even though you have an offense of that caliber, I talked about it earlier. If you're scoring 106 points, if the other team's scoring 107, then it doesn't really matter. You got to have that defense to convert. But they don't really have any players that are mainly in there for defense. All their players are offensive or offense-first type players.
Graves throws it away, and in transition, it's number 15, Israel Jones, on the floater, bringing it within 30. And a foul called on Josh Holder. That'll put Blaze Hargett at the free throw line for a 1-on-1 opportunity. So far, Hargett on the year, he's missed a couple of games with that hand injury. He's shooting 62% at the free throw line, going 8 for 13 total. So hasn't gone to the line very much this year, but has improved and has been known to connect on free throws when he does get there. Free throw line sponsored by Hughes Eye Centers. Hargett converts the first one on the 1-and-1. Checking in for Utley. This one's going to be number 12, Devin Howard. So Devin Howard into the game. For Utley is Hargett leaves his free throw just a bit short. Rebound goes to Jones. Nice move by Jones, getting past Hargett. Edwards looking inside for Bond, stolen away by Thorne. Again, good defensive effort from the TCA Lions. Thorne finally gets it away to Taylor. And Taylor's going to bring the ball up the floor, gets it to Hargett. Coach Northcutt setting up the offense, telling his guys to slow it down. Riley Graves, baseline jumper, leaves it short. Rebound goes to Madison. And now they've got a 3-on-2 in transition. We got another whistle called. As Mr. Patton has been known to, in the past, try to take over games with his officiating. I believe the foul's going to go on Bond for some excessive fouling down low. And so that's going to send Hargett back to the Hughes Eye Center free throw line. And as he's at the free throw line, we want to step away and again, like we did in the girls' game, preview Diamond Dave McCulley's book, Blue versus Red, The Night Jackson Stood Still. So we can see if we can get a visual right here. Yes, we can. So this is a flyer previewing this book right here. It will be released on March 15th of this year. And so Blue versus Red is basically the story of the 2007 game between the Lambeth Lady Eagles and the Union Lady Bulldogs in a thrilling NAIA matchup in the national tournament that really caught the eye of several basketball fans around the West Tennessee area and around the national area. As during that time, again, we were still a little bit younger, Justin, but I do still remember hearing about these matchups between Lambeth, and this is when Union and Coach Campbell's group were just almost unstoppable. And so Lambeth comes in here and gives them one heck of a game. And I'm telling you, these two programs, back when Lambeth was a program, when they went at it, you definitely did not want to miss it. And so this book is previewing that night in 2007 during that basketball season from the standpoint of Dave McCulley, who was covering, who used to cover Lambeth, now who covers Bethel sports. And definitely going to be an excellent read. I personally definitely want to go get a copy as well. The first 200 books are going to be signed and personalized by Dave McCulley himself, so you do not want to miss out on this opportunity. Again, Blue versus Red, The Night Jackson Stood Still, a book about Lambeth versus Union by Diamond Dave McCulley.
Yeah, and even though I was just about 9 to 10 years old during that time, having two parents that both went to Union, I know that was especially big for the area as far as Union basketball history goes, having both of those teams in the area being so good, especially in that one season.
Take you back to Trinity basketball here on the floor. High arching layup by Trey Edwards. Your score now 59-31. Favor of TCA. The 5 on the floor for TCA. It's Carpenter, Taylor, Graves, Thorne, and Hargett. But that's about to change as Coach Northcutt making some substitutions. Taking out Graves and Carpenter. And now the two brothers on the floor at the time. Jed Taylor joining his brother Will A. as well as the freshman Isaac Northcutt, son of Ken Northcutt, coming into play as well. Northcutt defending Jones. Jones, long three, well short. Saved into play, rebounded by Thorne. So now Hargett's going to bring the basketball up the floor. So in these last 3 minutes, what are you looking for if you're Coach Northcutt and the staff from these younger players?
Well, I think it's just continuing to see, can this second or third group consistently move the ball around the way that the starters have at the beginning of this game and continue to play that 2-3 zone effectively.
And it's stolen away by Bond off the turnover from Northcutt. Holder looking for Howard in the corner and turns the basketball over. And it just seems as Madison just cannot get a grip on this game. As you can take a look at some of the Trinity students here supporting their Lions this evening.
As we move back to the NBA game, one team I've not exactly a fan of, but kind of been paying more attention to lately is the 76ers. Have really stepped it up with Joel Embiid.
Trust the process, ladies and gentlemen.
Ben Simmons will be coming back soon. They just, after being down 19 points to the Clippers, who now have Blake Griffin back, came back and won that game 121-110. Nerlens Noel with 19 points in that game. Blake Griffin with 12 points, 3 for 11 from the field in his return to play after, I believe, was a left knee contusion. But having Joel Embiid really stepping it up this year, and I was talking to a couple of the players, Jack Carpenter and John Michael Holiday, the other day about the 76ers, and I really think they've stepped it up. They've found a way to win ball games. They're one of the more clutch teams. I believe they have the most wins by single digits in the winning go-ahead buckets in the final minute, if you will, this season. And that's without having their number one pick back, Ben Simmons, after he broke his foot in the preseason. So once he comes back, this is a scary team that could sneak in with that 8th seed.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for the 76ers is they just need time between getting Simmons developed into the league, Embiid already making his presence known. And so you get Simmons, Embiid, Noel rotating in that 4-5 spot. Again, this becomes a very tough team that, honestly, I do believe could get into the playoffs the way they're playing.
Yeah. And what's scary when you consider Simmons coming back is everybody talks about Magic Johnson being such a tall point guard, but Ben Simmons is an inch taller, and head coach Brett Brown of the 76ers has said that he is going to start Ben Simmons at point guard once he comes back, so he will be a 6'10" player leading the offense coming down the court, sort of the way LeBron does for the Cavs or Antetokounmpo for the Bucks. So that'll be interesting to watch, and really maybe if they can make a trade, perhaps trade Nerlens Noel or Jahlil Okafor, one of their big men, considering they have so many.
Get a shooter.
Maybe for a guard, yes.
Well, we'll see how Ben Simmons can run that floor general position for the 76ers when he gets back, but we'll take you back right now to Madison and TCA as Edwards is at the free throw line. Sterling Duncan, wearing number 51, is checked in for TCA. So your 5 on the floor are Duncan, Taylor, just one Taylor on the floor right now, Thorne, Seeley, and Northcutt. Edwards connects on the second free throw, 59-32. Up ahead to Duncan. Crossover going to the baseline, pulls it back out. Looking to post inside with Seeley. And it's stolen away. This time it's Woods. Woods brings it back out over to Peggs. And Jones will now lead the transition for the Mustangs. He's got Northcutt on him. Pick and roll game over to Jones. Jones, long three, short. Rebound goes to Northcutt. Driving down finally. Looking for Jed Taylor. Throws it just a bit long, and another turnover for Isaac Northcutt. And you know, him and Coach will definitely have a conversation back at home about those turnovers, as always. Foul's going to be called on number 51, Sterling Duncan. And that's going to send number 12, Devin Howard, to the charity stripe. As far as defensive effort goes, this is the kind of effort you want from your team, and not just because they're playing a weaker team in Madison, but this is the kind of effort you want night in, night out. When you can come in, and I believe personally, the most humiliating thing you can do to a team is shut them down. I mean, you can outscore a team all you want to, but when you go up against an opponent and you, to their face, tell them you cannot score on us, you will not score the basketball, then there's nothing they can do. It doesn't matter how well you're shooting offensively or not, but when you bring that defensive game night in, night out, when you can hold teams to 33 points in a contest, then you're going to win a lot of basketball games, and that does a lot of things for confidence for your team and also demoralizes confidence for your opponents. And so that's what Trinity needs to get back to. Their root of this program has been defense.
Yeah, and as the great coaches always say, defense does indeed win championships, and Trinity has struggled on the defensive end, so it's great to see in this game they've really stepped it up on defense, played that 2-3 zone to its highest potential like we've talked about. And if they can continue doing that down the stretch, then they're going to be a little scarier than what teams have come to expect from this Trinity team in the postseason.
Seeley going to drive in. Pump fake, and a nice move with contact. Foul called on Cinque Pegs for Madison. Will Seeley finally getting his first bucket in this game. And so now with just 31.4 left on the clock, Seeley going to the Hughes Eye Center free throw line for the first time this evening. But moving forward, Justin, as they got big games this weekend, Scottsdale coming up next week, and then winding down the season on the road at Riverside and Jackson Christian, what needs to be the biggest focus for Trinity right now?
Well, I think it all starts with the defense, like we keep talking about, but continuing to just play your style of offense. They can't try to play like a team that they're not. They're not a big shooting team. They have some shooters if they need to. They need to shoot. They can step out on the wings and shoot, like Elliott, York, maybe a guy like Graves coming in getting some big minutes. But they need to continue feeding the post on each and every possession and then looking to the outside game as a secondary style of scoring.
And so Northcutt's going to dribble out the basketball. And that's how we will wind down this game. 62-35 is your final here at TCA. So TCA dominates in both girls and boys action. And so TCA gets their first win in January, finally snapping that 8-game losing streak. And much needed for the Lions as they have some big district games coming up. And so it all came from Larson and Bryant tonight. Elliott tacking on double figures as well. Larson getting his around the 15-point area, and Van Bryant doing a good job defensively, and that's what made the defense down low is his shot blocks, which really discouraged Madison throughout the majority of this game.
Balancing the scoring really is what it comes down to. They didn't just have – it started off where Larson scored the first 10 points for the Lions, and he was their only scorer halfway through the first quarter. But they continue to move the ball around, have Elliott get some big buckets after his big slam. He kind of got into his real flow of the offense, and as well as Bryant finding his way in the third quarter.
And so TCA finally getting another district win. They moved to now 3-5 in the district, trying to climb that ladder back up into position where they can hopefully make a postseason run. And so we will keep an eye on that as the Lions continue throughout this last part of the season. Each and every game, as we know, is a definite must win. Well, we thank you for joining us here tonight. Our lead sponsors, Allen Vines Automotive, Ace Hardware of Jackson. And so both boys and girls action against Madison get the job done in some big district wins. We got another big district game coming up on Friday. It's going to be a homecoming here at TCA, so wear your best outfit here. Come in your nice suit and tie, your prom dresses, if you will, as the Lions will be facing off against the Lady Cardinals and Cardinals of Adamsville, which has been a big District 15A rival. Both teams went down to Adamsville early on in December, got some key road wins, looking to do the same thing here Friday night. We'll start our pregame show just a little bit after 5:30. Tip-off will begin at 6 with guys action. So it'll be the boys' game at 6 o'clock, then followed by the girls' game, as is homecoming customs now here at TCA, trying some new things out. But we hope to see you. And so for Alex Northcutt, Justin Dyer, and Paul Scholze and the crew from Worthy Road Studios, we wish you a very happy Tuesday night. God bless, and we will see you Friday night.